Have you ever felt like your identity, what you truly want, is just frozen? Like you can't get through, you can't break through your goals. You just feel like you're stuck. That's what I call frozen identity in stagnation. So, how do we get there? The very first thing is when we're idle. The second thing is when we're isolating. And the third thing is we're creating an identity, we're imprinting. Okay, first, one, when you're idle, you actually are moving in a direction. A lot of times when we're idle, we think that, oh, I'm not really doing anything. I'm not making any decision. I'm coasting, I'm not doing anything that's hurting anybody. But what you're doing is you're moving towards the wrong direction because idleness causes you to be subconscious on your decision. And when you're subconscious, you're not present. So idleness, when you're not doing anything, nothing productive, and I'm not talking about just resting. Resting is fine. I'm talking about just you know the things you got to do, but you don't do it. That's called idleness. It's just like you go to the beach, sit on this little raft, and then the next thing you know, you say you're falling asleep, and the next thing you know, you're getting away from the shore. And that's exactly what happened. There is movement going on in idleness. If you could just understand that. The second thing, as I was talking about, is isolation. Now, isolation creates a bubble of stagnation. But the thing about the bubble that isolation creates is a bubble of your own belief, your own lies, your own self, your self-will. In this isolation, there's no one that could help you because you're in this cocoon with all that information about yourself that you've always created. So you're repeating and rehearsing your own belief. I'm not enough, or this is why it's happening. All of those things inside of you. It's called the echo chamber, where you balance off just your own ideas. Sometimes you invite people that think like you, which is not good if you're stuck, right? So I'm going to talk about what we could do with that. But that's like you having earpiece or earpods on, listening to music while people are trying to talk to you. Can listen, can hear, right? The third thing, as I was talking about, is the imprint. The imprint happens of your false identity, or the stuck or the frozen identity, happens when you're isolating and when you're idle. In that cocoon is where a birth of a false identity is born. It's kind of like you're printing. Have you ever, like, I use my printer all the time. I could type in and then send it to the printer. It spills out whatever the information that I put in. And mostly, sometimes the information is wrong. So the error keeps printing and printing. It's like you just keep printing and waiting for the error to be gone away. But I need to shift what I'm putting in. So that's what happens. We keep repeating our relationship, repeating the same mistake, and pain keeps coming until you learn the lesson from pain, right? Give you just a few things that you can do to help you overcome this frozen self, right? First of all, what we need to do, you need to initiate action that creates transformation. Every action does not create transformation. Some action creates destruction. So you need to initiate and maybe inspect also those actions, but you need to initiate it. What do I mean by initiation? You need to be the first one to do it. You need to be the one in the group. If you're afraid of being vulnerable, guess what? Raise your hand and start speaking. The more you do this, some things is going to change. You know what's going to change is the second thing. You're going to inject new belief, right? In your isolation, you're going to inject new belief by inviting new information. Inject new belief by inviting new information. How do you invite new information? You need to have new experience. And how do I do that? Well, create a group of people that could help you speak life into you, into that bubble, that are aligned with what you want to do, who you're designed to be. That's why it's so good to have different perspective. I know for me, my own perspective, my own thinking, sometimes the worst thinking, especially if it's the same thinking that got me in trouble. How am I going to change that thinking when that thinking's purpose is to get me in trouble and to destroy my life? So think about that. Maybe sometimes we keep going to the same thinking. That's insanity, expecting different results. Okay, the last thing is we need to instruct that printer to produce an authentic identification. We need to instruct the printer. Remember I said we could print the wrong error and it keeps spilling out the wrong paper, right? That wrong output. How do I do that? Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to inspect what's going on with that printer. Is what's going on with the information that I've been putting in, right? You need to inspect it. before you instruct it, you need to inspect it. And then you need to interact with it. You need to inform your printer what you need, right? What does that mean? That means you need to go over some of the results that you're producing in your life without being defensive. You know, the problem, the reason why we keep repeating the same thing over, sometimes we just hide our results. We hide the things that are not going well in our life. And if you hide, how can you get the healing? Healing happens in the light, not in the darkness. So healing happens not with hidden things, with unhidden things. You uncover and discover so you could recover. Well, thank you so much for watching my videos. Please do subscribe if you like the video, and please share it. And also click on the bell button there so you could be notified with any new videos that I come out with. Thank you.